Hi, I'm Maya and welcome to our backyard garden. We are a family of 4 trying to grow as much food as we can right here in our own backyard. Every week we show you what it really looks like to grow, maintain, and preserve your harvest, all while enjoying our time together as a family. So join us every Sunday for a new episode as we share the ups and downs of our gardening journey. So welcome to A Week in the Garden. So what are we doing today?
All right, so we got like a tiny break in the rain, so we're gonna come out and plant stuff because it's gonna rain all day tomorrow, and we got to get peppers and tomatoes and what is that? Cucumbers.
There are some cucumbers.
Cucumbers. What else is in there? We have so much.
Tobacco, oregano,
oh, we gotta plant the
basil.
tobacco. Can go another day.
Yeah. So I'm thinking tomatoes is what we focus on the rainy. What do you think?
Yep, let's do it. Get it. We got to get at least one group planted right now.
We do. We'll do tomato group.
All right.
So we started 3 different variety of tomato this year. We have a Napa Chardonnay, a San Marzano, and a mushroom basket, which looks super cool. So I'm very excited to see it. Oh, and I'm missing one more. It's an orange hat tomato, but I have not yet planted those out yet. But we are trying to pick from the best ones because honestly, my tomatoes have kind of went through it. So we're trying to find the strongest ones of each group, which to be honest and sadly was kind of hard. But what we are going to end up doing is planting them a little deeper. We heard someone say to do this once. We've done it every year and we've seen no problem with it. And honestly, it's really going to help out these tomatoes because they are very much struggling here. This will be our very first year growing tomatoes on trellises. And so when I saw these at the dollar store, I bought probably about good 4 or 5 packs of them because this is going to help the tomatoes attach to this little wire that we've got going on here, or well, this trellis that we've made. So I'm very excited to see these. They've come in a little small pack and a big pack. Started raining when we started to put the peppers in. So it has now since stopped, but we're gonna call it a day just because we are gonna have some storms later. But I do want to show you what we did and what we placed in the garden. So I know some people may think that this is too close to plant peppers. I planted peppers the same distance last year, and what I really do find is that they end up supporting each other way better. I also top my bell peppers and all of my peppers, and that makes them bushier and is just helpful for me. These right here are bell peppers. The only thing we got into this bed today is 2 eggplant, but I do plan on putting more peppers here, putting some basil around it. Because it is raining and we've just kind of been sketched for high winds, I'm a little nervous about everything being in the ground tonight, but if anything happens, we do have extra that we actually put underneath the tent just in case, because I would cry if I put them in the ground and then the storm just took them away. So we're gonna kind of take a look of what's underneath this tent, and there's so much to plant. So out here we have eggplant, lemongrass, Anaheim, and some sad looking watermelon. I don't know if they're actually gonna pull through, but we have good thoughts about them. Also, this nasturtium did struggle some sun scald, but I'm hoping that they'll hopefully bounce back, but it is okay. Also, we've got some squash that seem to be doing perfectly fine, and then a host of peppers and herbs and squash and basil. Just everything is laid out and ready to be planted. I am so excited for it. Another thing that I checked is the flowers. We've got a couple, none that you can really see, it's tiny, but we do have some beet seeds coming up, radishes coming up, and just the faint sign of tiny little carrots. So I am very hopeful in how everything will grow in the next week. Honestly, it is going to be wild. Everything's going to get in, and it's already looking so full, but I cannot imagine what it's going to look like as it grows in. So hopefully tomorrow we will be able to get things in between storms because it's supposed to be raining all day tomorrow. So fingers crossed. It feels like today is really going to be more so an inside day, maybe until the evening. I would usually go out and do it in the rain, put a hat on, and just call it good. However, I do have this little guy, and I don't want to have him out in the rain. So an inside day it is. I did go and pick some more flowers, some more peonies. They are just the most beautiful flowers and they smell so good in my kitchen. I actually put some in the fridge to see how long they would last. And I have some that are like very, very small, trying to see like how early I can pick them for them to bloom. Now, my neighbors do not care anything about those 2, 3 plants-ish that are out there. There's one large one smaller one, and I am just in love. I'm also thinking about playing around with drying them, so we'll see how that all goes. So the weather let up and I got to put more plants in the ground, and I am so excited because this part is actually really fun. A lot of hard work, but very fun. And I am putting a bell pepper, which is right there. I started everything that you see in soil blocks, probably in this tray about February, January, and I live in Nebraska. I'm also putting 2 Anaheim peppers in the back of this bed. Anaheim peppers are the tallest peppers that I grow in my garden, and so I put them in the back to make sure that they wouldn't really shade anything. And Anaheim, we grew one last year. We should have grown more, so that is why this year we have, man, I think we have 2 or 3. And next, I decided to plant my basil out. Now, I have 2 different varieties of basil. I have a I'm going to say it wrong, Genovesa, the regular, Italian basil. And I also have Tulsi basil, which is new. It's also called holy basil. And I am just so excited. I got the seeds at a seed swap. And look, oh my gosh, I'm just so excited to have it in the garden this year. What I'm doing is planting these basils all along the borders of my peppers and my eggplant, and they will definitely go in way more spaces once the ones that I have in the seed stales start getting a little bit bigger and maybe heal a little bit from their sun scald. And here they are right here. And I'm just waiting. Man, they kind of look bad, they look rough, but I know plants are resilient and they will bounce back. Right here is my oregano, and I'm just going to put it in all the little nooks and corners in the garden. And I am just so excited. This is about all I got done today, but literally this just felt so good to get my hands in the dirt. Okay, so here we are, next day of getting all of these plants in the ground, and I honestly underestimated how much time it really takes to plant and to make sure that everything that you plant is next to things that like to be planted next to each other, okay? People have specific things in the garden world, okay? Hey, I'm not gonna knock it. I'm on one today, if you can't notice, because it's just so beautiful outside. I have got a little man over here doing some manual labor that he wanted to do, okay? Okay, I got it. Anyways, one of the best things for gardening with kids, besides how they just throw things at you, is giving them a job and giving them a task. We all love jobs and tasks. We like to feel accomplished. We like to feel a part of a team. So instead of putting them off, find a task for them to do, and they will make play however they may. Bro, what am I today? So today I started with this mystery plant, and I am literally not sure what it is. I feel like I planted it in the fall. It might be a weed, but I feel like it's a member of the brassica family. So I'm just gonna, use it as a sacrificial plant, and I'm just really kind of curious to see what it is. So I'm gonna place it next to my collards over here and just kind of hope for the best. The next thing that we're gonna do is plant out some more eggplant and some more peppers in this little bed area. Now, I'm the only one in my family that likes eggplant, and the variety I have is Nagasaki long, which is like a long, but also can be eaten raw. So I am just so excited for just all the dishes that I will probably eat by myself or with the baby. But look at this weird pepper, okay? It grew so odd, and I'm very interested to see how it'll actually grow from the ground. So I'm not gonna put a cage on it. I just want to see what it will do just being in the sunlight. And then the next thing I'm going to do is plant out some of my pots that I have in the garden. Now, this one right here is actually going to sit on the table. So I wanted to put some lemongrass, hopefully to help with any like mosquitoes or anything while we're eating food. And I am also placing oregano in here as well. So we will see how this grows or if it doesn't grow well together. But honestly, right now, it is just so pretty. So my fingers are crossed that this will help hopefully repel any kind of pests near us while we eat. The next thing I did was placed out the leftover basils that I had no room for in the other beds. So I have probably about 3 Tulsi basils in this little area. And in this next pot, I put together the sage in the middle, which sage for me has been so hard to grow, and also some thyme around it. So I'm just so excited for all of this. So we've been out here for a good maybe 3 hours, putting in some more peppers. Goodness gracious, some flowers galore all around the garden. It is now time for nap time. The little things of will you do this task are not working anymore, and a sleep needs to happen. So it's supposed to rain. I am just going to try to put everything away in some kind of order. I don't even know. It is just, at this point, I just want everything in the ground so I can just stop moving everything back and forth, you know? Anyways, I'm gonna try to see if I can sneak some couple things in while we have a tame toddler, and yeah. I don't know if you're anything like me, but usually on Instagram you see those beautiful aesthetic accounts with like the women with their beautiful hair done. I don't look like that. So I love to get dressed up, but you're not gonna see me out here getting dressed up too much because it's just not efficient for me, okay? I got a cute little baby accessory to get stuff done. Usually wearing my husband's shirt and some holes in my leggings. You know, so if that's you, you're in good company. If you are one of those girlies who can do it aesthetically pleasing and get down in the dirt like that, I commend you. Where and how do you do it? But I have not been out here probably in a couple, 2 days. It rained yesterday. I got out here and mowed the other day. But honestly, I am now probably getting ready to get my squash in this week. Even know my okra. There are still places in the garden that I have no idea what to do with. There's this spot over here behind the corn bed, which we were gonna put tobacco in, but now I'm thinking we're gonna put okra there. But then I don't know what goes well with tobacco for companion planting. So there's just a lot of thinking, and I feel like that is what has stalled and delayed. But these beautiful birds are just trying to tell me it's all right and I'll be okay. We're just chilling tonight. Got some food going on in the Blackstone. I haven't done anything from the garden at all. Just watered it today. We are using one thing from the garden today, which is the lettuce. It was kind of sad cutting up this little sad tomato from the store. You can really tell the difference, but what are we having for dinner tonight again?
Chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwiches, so that's what we're doing tonight.
Chicken sandwich and some yams.
Awesome. Okay. So we will cook outside at any chance that we can get. It is probably one of the best things about having a garden is being able for our kids to experience a true farm to table experience right in their backyard. So it is one of the greatest joys and gifts that we feel like we can give our kids as they are growing up in their childhood. And you always got a little sneak a little piece of food, okay? Always. Okay, so we're making chicken sandwiches tonight, and I've got some lettuce that I can use for sandwiches, but I need to clean it off. It is in this bed, the bed that we planted the cabbage. These lettuce are actually from the seed snail. So let's pick them. The variety of lettuce that we have is a Rocky Top lettuce blend. Wow, by Baker Creek. But I got it because I loved that I never knew what I was going to get when I had the lettuce. So I definitely highly recommend it. These ones are considerably smaller. So I'm going to let them grow a little bit more. It's because they're shaded by these cabbages, but I'm going to pick some more and then we'll go inside, wash them off so everybody can eat. So we did not need a lot. I'm going to go wash these off and eat dinner because I'm hungry, man. My children are hungry. And I do not know about you, but store-bought tomatoes just do not do it for me. But after dinner, I decided to do a little bit of gardening, and I'm gonna get right into this flower bed. So in here, I have planted some zinnias. I just scattered some seeds, and honestly, I don't think a lot of them took, but it's okay. I've also got some marigolds in here, some different kinds of marigolds, some tall marigolds, and they're just kind of like scattered among all of the weeds here, which is, hey, sir. But I'm gonna plant some things in here, and in between some of these like zinnia seeds, like some straw flower, probably in that area, it's more space, some straw flower, some calendula, probably some nasturtium. So I can never say that right, so we'll plant some of that in here. So this year I started more flowers than I ever had before. I had calendula, alyssum, straw flower, and different varieties of nasturtium. And I am just so excited to have so many different beautiful flowers just growing everywhere throughout the garden. So the next thing I decided to do was actually get my summer squash in the ground. This variety is a golden squash. We're actually really not that big of fans of zucchini, so that is why I went with the golden squash, and I actually up potted this into a solo cup because it is just a little bit easier than trying to transplant it into like a 4-inch soil block. So, or no, 4-inch, probably even bigger than that. But these go in, and what I'm going to do different this year is actually stick them up, and hopefully that will help them. Okay, so here we are, next day. Literally, we have had probably the worst storms that we've had all year. Would you say that?
The worst storms in Nebraska for all like for this season. It's been nothing but tornado storms and hail and rain, and like not just rain. It's like
the
flooding.
weather's been very different. Yes. So we've even like our basement has flooded, but this morning 6 a.m. bright and early, hail. Like it was wild. I was looking at my weather, like seeing if we were gonna get like tornado sirens. It was kind of like, it was kind of scary. But we haven't checked the garden yet. We're out here doing dinner. After that, we had a second round of storms, which were not as bad as the first, but still significant to what rain we've had here. So I want to take you around the garden, see what has kind of happened, because I don't really know what has happened yet. I haven't taken a tour yet, so let's go. So these two beds look actually really good because there's nothing in them, but this was my spinach, or is my spinach that is going to seed, and it just got so flattened by the wind and the hail. But everything in here that was low to the ground, it looks like nothing has happened. So I've got a little bend.
I'm gonna grab tongs.
Okay. Little bend in my broccoli. I'm just gonna rip it. That's actually really good. If you like collards, you will like broccoli leaves. Now, this is my Swiss chard that is going to seed, and it is just completely flopped over. But everything, like the squash I planted yesterday, it looks like nothing has happened to it. Now, this is the bed that I was worried about the most. When we looked out the window, it really had looked that we had lost at least one, maybe two broccolis. But as I got in here, I noticed that they really just got beat up by the wind, but nothing was broken. All stems were attached. So I know that with like a little bit of sun, they'll perk right back up. And that is just such a relief because it would be so sad to lose the broccoli. And this little area, I contemplating tilling up. This is where my okra is gonna go. If you are in Nebraska, what is your favorite local place to get bacon? Let me know.
Is that a thing?
Yeah. Like your farmer. Like I want your farmer, not Hy-Vee, not Walmart.
We are looking for
your farmer.
A farm, a rancher for us to get some meat from. So if y'all out there in the good old Nebraska know where so we can get some good old country boy farm meat, send them our way. My sister is coming over today so that she can take some plants back to her green stalk and to my parents' backyard garden. So most of the things that she's gonna take is squash, some of the tomatoes I've already given her, and she already has a lot of seeds that she started already in her green stalk. So that is how we're gonna start our day. And then the next thing that we're gonna do is probably kind of take a look
at some things that we can plant out now that I've given her and my mom the plants. Now I have just so many excess. I do have to get tobacco put in the ground. I do have to get my okra put in the ground and also put in our squash. But besides that, those might be the only things I have not actually transplanted in the ground. And after that, I want to be able to start thinking about the things I want to start from seed, or at least start thinking about a fall garden when it comes to like starting things from seed. Yeah, I know it's wild, it's spring, I'm already thinking about a fall garden, but that is one of the things that I really want to highlight this year, is being able to grow food in all seasons. Last year I had some spinach that I kept in the ground all winter, and it's the same spinach that we harvested, the same spinach we're gonna have seeds from, but like there are just a lot of plants that can survive very cold temperatures. So why not experiment with a whole garden of potentially cold weather crops? So that'll be our next brain dump. But right now we focus on putting everything that we have now into the ground. So I am starting by undoing my seed snail. Now these peppers are my shishito peppers, and when it comes to seed snails, this might be a number one way that I love starting seeds. It is just such a small space for so many seeds, and the burlap honestly does work. You might have to up pot a little bit, but it really does do the job, and it is less plastic. But I'm gonna put 2 peppers in that pot and we will see how it goes. Now, the next thing I did was planted the tobacco. Now, Walter actually started this tobacco a couple months ago, and when we went to a seed swap, he was so like ecstatic to find these tobacco plants. So check out your local seed swaps. They're fantastic. It was a free seed swap, and literally guy said, hey, just take what you want, and it was like a kid in a candy store for me. But I am planting out these tobaccos about a foot apart. Now I have no idea really how far they're supposed to be apart, but I'm thinking that it will be okay, so we'll see how that goes. So yesterday I got out some tobacco. I planted some soybeans and I planted some dragon tongue beans, and honestly I didn't check on it, and we have not been out today. This is like the first time we've been out today because it is this guy's birthday.
Let's go.
So we're just gonna come check the garden. We're gonna go inside and we're gonna chill, see if anything is new.
Wow. I think that's way too close together.
You think it is?
Yeah. Did you look? 3 feet apart.
All right, so we're gonna have to replant the
That's
tobacco.
like 2 feet, yeah.
So how many is actually gonna go in here? 5?
Well, what's over here? Why can't we plant a little further into this? We can fit 6. We just really honestly need to pluck out these 2 middle ones.
Or what?
He smells the scent of the other dogs.
These can go somewhere else though. So.
Luca, no!
But where? Hey buddy, leave that alone, okay?
But there's his.
So we ended up putting 5 tobacco plants in this area, and like I said, I really was kind of guesstimating with how it was gonna go, but we will see. Okay. Idea. I have no clue how this tobacco is gonna grow.
They're gonna be like this tall. They're gonna be taller than me.
Well, yeah, they're definitely gonna be taller than.
And they're gonna be wide.
We shall see.
I'm about to have cigars for the next year.
Okay. Well, don't put Drew on the trampoline. I got soybeans planted, green beans planted. Yeah, you're welcome. Well, I'm glad you went out there, and because that would have sucked for you.
I've been like, damn. Well, we would have just pulled the ones in between.
But everything is growing very, very nicely. It's supposed to storm tonight, though.
Look at this bed.
Do you hear me? It's supposed to storm tonight, though. So I just noticed that our bok choy looks like it is going to seed. Not all of them, but I think I am going to pull probably all of them and process them. And these right here are just beat up by God knows what. Just wild. And it's interesting because the ones down here got more damage, less damage, and then like this one yesterday was looking okay, but like barely. any compared to the one down there. And then you can see that there's a seed head forming in this one. So we're gonna pull these. These are a really good size. So these are gonna be very, very yummy to eat. All of this behind us is mulberry. We actually didn't know that there was mulberry trees here. More like a mulberry grove here for, gosh, 2 or 3 years. Till my neighbor said something, and every June it's something that we look forward to. Mulberry muffins, mulberry pancakes, rolls of mulberries. Now they are a little seedy, but I definitely do love the harvest of mulberries every single year, especially when I didn't plant these trees. So they're just in the community, happen to be very close to me. There's also apple trees in this community close to me. That's how I made the apple cider vinegar. That's linked on the website. But so I will see you guys tomorrow for the last video of the week, and let's go. Absolutely just freaking messed up. I heard when we went to the basement, I heard such loud stuff. We have a window that's broken. Our trampoline is completely moved. All of our covers is gone. And it looks like a whole bed just might be gone, but we can't see it. The trampoline is completely, just like half of it is messed up.
The blackstone and the smoker got moved. The table got moved.
Everything, and I don't think I've ever been through a storm of this magnitude that has ever done this to our stuff.
To our
heavily.
personal stuff, yeah.
Our personal stuff heavily. We literally heard that. Like, we were running to the basement as all of this was shifting. And I think the worst of it is over.
Yeah.
But I hope so, because that trampoline can't hit the house more.
Well, and also the trampoline, we lost the trampoline, the arms. I don't know if the frame is any good anymore. We'll
Maybe
see how
it got
bent up it. We'll see how bent up it got.
So, assessing the damage. So first of all, I had no idea that the storm was going to be as intense as it was last night. The trampoline, which is usually right here,
Mama.
is now over there, near to the house. This trampoline is now completely covering a garden bed, and I don't think that this garden bed is actually damaged. And as I look around, I do not think that any of my plants are damaged. But you would see this yard and just be like, whoa, what is going on? But I'm very thankful. Everything is here. They're in place. Even with the whipping of the wind. Granted, this thing whipped around here, but oh my word. And it's broken. But this is not expected the week to end, but we're going to get out here and do some stuff. So stay tuned next week to see how everything goes and the recovery of the yard. And we are still gardening through storms. So as always, friends, you are awesome, you're wonderful, and be safe.